Hi guys, very good evening. In this video, we will try to understand the different types of electrodes that are generally used in a shielded metal arc welding process. In the fundamental video related to this SMAW process, we have understood that there will be a coating, flux coating and the electrode. And if you remember, the main purpose of this flux coating is to protect the weld from atmospheric contamination. So we know that during the welding process, the material will be heated to higher temperature. At higher temperature, the material shows greater affinity to the atmospheric gases. This interaction may cause uh, formation of some defects such as porosity inclusions, which in turn affects the overall quality of the weld. So basically it affects the weld quality, so we don't want to compromise on the weld quality. That's why we have a flux coating on the electrode. So based upon the composition of the flux, we have there are three categories, three main categories of with respect to the electrodes. First one is rutile based. Second one is sorry, basic electrodes, and then third one is cellulosic electrodes. So we'll see one by one what are their features when we have to prefer a particular type of electrodes. Okay, so first we'll try to understand rutile based electrodes. So in rutile electrodes, we can see a higher content of titanium oxide. Okay, so the flux coating may have a higher content of titanium oxide. This higher content of titanium oxide will help us to promote easy arc ignition. One second. It will help us to promote easy arc ignition, and then smooth arc operations. And the spatter also will be very much less when we use rutile based electrodes. Low spatter, easy arc ignition, and then smooth arc operation is also possible with respect to rutile based electrodes. They can be used with both AC and DC power source. That is another aspect of these rutile based electrodes, and they can be used generally in all positions. Like they can be used in overhead position, flat, vertical, horizontal. They can be used in all these positions. This rutile based electrodes are mainly preferred for making fillet joints in a horizontal and vertical position. Horizontal and vertical positions, they can be preferred for making fillet joints. And the bead profile generally looks good when we use this rutile based electrode. The mechanical properties is also decent. It can result in moderate mechanical properties. The weld can possess a reasonable mechanical properties. The slag which gets formed because of this coating can be easily removed. That is another advantage with respect to this easy removal of the slag. Okay, so these are the some of the important aspects of rutile based. The main thing we should know is it is having high content of titanium oxide, which will help us to promote easy arc ignition. low spatter as well as smooth arc operation. Okay, next we'll try to understand basic electrode, what are their features. Okay, the second important category is basic electrode. So the electrodes that are coming under the basic category, it will contain high amount of calcium carbonate, and calcium fluoride. So last category we have seen that it will contain high amount of titanium oxide, whereas in the basic electrode we can see high amount of calcium carbonate and calcium fluoride. Okay, so this the calcium fluoride and calcium carbonate presence makes the slag more fluid. Okay, it will make the slag more fluid compared to this rutile based coatings, and also it helps us in fast freezing. Okay, fast freezing. So as the weld is getting frozen at a faster rate, we can use this electrode when you are going for a difficult welding positions such as vertical and overhead positions. So you can prefer this electrode in vertical and overhead positions. Okay, so they can be uh, resulting in a very good mechanical properties. When we use this electrode, we can get very good mechanical properties. Okay, and the weld may have a good resistance to cracking also. It's good when we use this basic electrode. Okay, and the hydrogen content will be very less. So as a result of that, we can prevent hydrogen induced cracking. Okay, and then comparatively it will have poor bead profile. We have seen in rutile based electrode the bead profile will be better, but in this case the bead profile will not be as good we have seen in rutile based electrodes. And then that is, it will be like having convex and coarse surface profiles. Okay, that is why by saying it is having comparatively poor bead profile, and the slag removal will be comparatively difficult. In the previous case, that is in a rutile based electrode, we have seen that the slag removal is easy, but in this case it is little bit difficult. Okay, so these are the some important aspects of basic electrodes. Next we'll see the final important category, that is cellulosic electrodes. Okay, so as the name suggests, it will have high amount of cellulose. Okay, so it will help us to get deep penetrating arc and rapid burn off rate. As a result of that, we can go for very good speed, that is high welding speed we can use because of this nature of uh, deep penetration. We can go for high welding speed. Okay, and then they can be used in any positions. Okay, the mechanical properties is moderate. It's not as in basic electrodes. The mechanical properties that we achieve through this electrode is comparatively lesser than that of we are getting it in basic electrodes. Okay, and then one of the important drawback with respect to the cellulosic electrode, that the hydrogen content will be high. As a result of that, the possibility of crack in HIZ is higher. That is one of the major drawback when we use these cellulose based electrodes. Okay, so these are all the main classifications. Okay, under this we have many more subcategories. Okay, so what we have seen in this video is that the flux coating changes in different type of electrode. Mainly we have three types. So one is rutile, and then we have basic, and finally we have seen cellulose. Finally we have seen that it can be used in all position, and we can get very good penetration. High speed is also possible. One major disadvantage is hydrogen content will be very high. As a result of that, there is a possibility of crack in HIZ. Whereas in case of a basic electrode, it contains high amount of calcium carbonate and calcium fluoride. It will help us to make the slag more fluid as a result, and also the freezing also very fast. And as the freezing is fast, it is possible to use the electrode in vertical and overhead welding position. We can get very good mechanical properties using this electrode. Okay, the hydrogen content is also less. Okay, but the bead profile will be comparatively poorer than that we have seen in the rutile based, and then slag removal will be difficult in this basic electrode. Whereas in case of rutile based, it will contain high amount of titanium oxide, and it will be helping us to initiate the arc easily, and then we will be having a smooth arc operation, and the spatter is also very less. Okay, and the bead profile is better here. Removal of slag is easy, and we can get moderate mechanical properties. So according to our need, we can choose the type of covering and the electrode, and we can perform the welding process. Okay, so thank you for listening.